Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, July 2nd, 2021. My name is Aubrey and this is my astrological outlook for the weekend. This report is kind of like step 2 following step 1 that we had yesterday with the exact opposition of Mars and Saturn. Today I'm going to be talking about Mars's exact square to Uranus that we have pending, and that's going to be happening on Saturday night. And I really just kind of want to talk today about the energetics and the Sabian symbols and what they are telling us about the activations that are going on right now and what the point of them really is from a universal perspective as we move through this very climactic week filled with tension and frustrations and very heated emotions and a lot of impulsive behavior and actions and people really just generally doing and saying crazy things. We can expect the unexpected this weekend, and we know that we've been talking about these activations for quite a long period of time, but I want to go day by day, talk about Friday, talk about Saturday, and talk about Sunday. Happy birthday, America. And just kind of see what overall the universe is saying to us about what we may be experiencing as a result of these activations and this climax that we're in right now. So let's talk about today first, Friday. We have the sun at 12 degrees of Cancer today. We have Jupiter retrograde, moving degrees back to 2 degrees of Pisces today. So Jupiter retrograde is really all about trying to get us to reassess our vision of reality and truth and our faith and our ability to connect to a higher understanding of things and divine truth internally. That is what Jupiter retrograde is kind of asking us to do. So as he is moving backwards right now, all of us collectively are sort of going through this process of realigning with personal truth. And that is the process that we'll be going through as Jupiter retrogrades and then stations direct and moves forward, bringing us into alignment with the belief systems that are going to be best serving us moving forward into this new paradigm in the age of Aquarius. We have Mars coming to 14 degrees. Mars is moving to 14 degrees of Leo today, and that means that he is moving into exact square by degree to Uranus today. However, the exact square to the minute does not occur until 10 p.m. on Saturday night. 10 p.m. Saturday night is when we have the exact square from Mars to Uranus. But Mars does move to 14 degrees of Leo today, activating this square. And Venus, another important planet right now, because of the fact that Uranus is in Taurus. Uranus is obviously very, very involved in the ongoings this week, and the sign that he is in is Taurus. Taurus is the ruler of Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So we look to see what Venus is talking about in terms of our Sabian symbols to understand really what is going on with Mars and Uranus. So I'm going to talk about those things. So let's talk about the Sabian symbols for Friday. And actually today for Friday, I do like the Sabian symbols. I do like the setup. I do like the message and what they're telling us moving into this activation tomorrow. Now, we know Mars and Uranus, this is like literally just like combustion. Uranus is things happening really fast, electricity, the speed of light, and Mars is fire, and especially in Leo, very heated, very passionate, explosive. So this is a very dynamic and explosive energetic that we are moving into, coming into Saturday when this will be exact. But because of the Sabians that are happening Friday, when Mars moves into position for this square, and considering we just had the opposition from Mars to Saturn yesterday, I feel like the Sabian symbols are sort of reiterating what the messaging was from yesterday. And so let's talk about it for a minute. The sun is at, like I said, 12 degrees of Cancer today, and one of the forms of astrology I do for anyone who's new to my channel, it's called Sabian symbol astrology. And the Sabian symbols are like this collection of symbols that resonate to each and every one of the specific degrees of the zodiac and give us a better idea of what that particular degree is emanating on like a frequency basis and what it does in this paradigm of our reality. And by reading the symbol, we can sort of, in our human mind, have a better idea in our psyche of how these energetics are operating. So I love to look at the Sabian symbols because they just give us more information about what's going on with any planet at any time. And 12 degrees of Cancer. This is the Sabian symbol, a Chinese woman nursing a baby whose aura reveals him to be the reincarnation of a great teacher. So I feel like this is honestly kind of suiting, considering the overall message of the energetics and the opposition from Saturn to Mars yesterday were really heat and pressure ultimately makes diamonds through this process of alchemy and transformation on like a deep inner level that comes into being through tremendous amounts of force being exerted and heat. And what results from that is like the picture of utmost beauty and value. And I really feel like this activation, this climax week, because of what the Sabian symbols have been indicating, is really about refining us and bringing us in contact with the true value that each and every one of us hold inside of us. And I feel like this degree 12 Cancer, where the sun is today, is again discussing this because it's talking about a baby whose aura reveals him to be the reincarnation of a great teacher. And with Chiron so in the mix of this whole activation, this whole climax week that we have going on, Chiron is the master teacher archetype, and we're all sort of like babies right now. If you remember the Sabian symbol where the sun was yesterday, a large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process. That's kind of the same thing as being a baby whose aura reveals them to be a great master. There is this idea of this value that's inside that needs to be nurtured and developed and promoted and grown so that it can reveal the true mastery, the true beauty, the true value. And again, with the sun at this degree today, and the sun being the ruler of Leo where Mars is, I do believe that this process that we're going through right now, it's like we're all babies and we're all these great masters, and we're beginning to realize this, and we just need to be nurtured, and we need to grow, and we need to, cut off and chisel off the hard exterior that is keeping us from shining, keeping our brilliance from shining through. And so I think that this is a lot about what this process is, and all of these changes that happen, these unexpected events, these frustrations, these tensions surfacing. I really think that it has a lot to do with bringing us into contact with the master inside of us and with the true value that we have inside of us, so that we can develop and grow and nurture that and really make it the cornerstone and the foundation of our life. This is very much involving Saturn, of course, major player in this activation. And Saturn is all about foundations of things and building from a strong, sturdy foundation that can endure and take us long term into the future. And so I like this today, even though, today is sort of like a little bit of a break in between the heavy activation yesterday, the heavy activation tomorrow. But the sun in Cancer is still speaking about Mars's positioning in Leo, and the fact that we are all like babies right now who are actually these great masters, and we just need to be nursed and nurtured and develop into that. And I think that this is a part of that process. No matter, how ugly or painful it might be, maybe that is what the nurturing actually that we need to make this breakthrough. This is all about a breakthrough right now. Next, 14 degrees of Leo. Mars moves there today. Like I said, the activation will be exact tomorrow, but today Mars is moving into position, and this degree is amazing. This 14 degrees of Leo for a square with Uranus at 14 degrees of Taurus. Listen to this. Cherub-like, a human soul seeking opportunities for outward manifestation. And this is what we know is going on anyways. Uranus, like I've said over and over and over, is trying to get us to come back into authenticity with our true original self, our true original potential, so that we can grow that, master it, and use that to create and sustain our lives going forward. And that is what this degree is talking about, a human soul seeking opportunity for outward manifestation, the true inner nature seeking to come out. And that is the job that Mars is doing at this degree coming into square with Uranus at 14 Taurus. And remember, that degree is at the beach, children play while shellfish grope at the shore. Very much also about reacquainting with the inner child and freedom and liberty to just have fun and experience the joy and the pleasures of life without having to worry, and just to be in the moment and blissful. And that is what Uranus is trying to do for us. And Taurus is liberate us to be our own authentic selves and reassess our perception of value and material comforts, and what we build and what gives us comfort, what makes us feel secure, how we do relationships, and most importantly, what is our relationship to our own internal value, our own internal self-worth, our own self-love, because that is really what dictates the experiences that we have externally of those things as well. So I love that this is the degree that Mars is activating today for this square, this big square. It really is all about liberating our souls to so that they can achieve the potential that they came here to achieve. And this is how the age of Aquarius comes into effect. So by the sun today on Friday, we are all in the process of being nurtured and growing into our own true mastery. And our soul is doing that through seeking its original desire for outward manifestation, outward experience. So I think that this is a very, very positive Sabian symbol for the degree of Mars as this energetic is activated. And I really this makes it very, very clear, even more so if we didn't already know what this is about. And this is really all about liberating the soul. Okay. Another thing that I love today, and this again just brings it all back into perspective, the position of Venus. This is one of my favorite degrees in the entire zodiac, where Venus is today, 7 degrees of Leo. The constellations of the stars shine brilliantly in the sky. And the positioning of Venus is important because, like I said, Venus rules Taurus, where Uranus is today for this square. And so to me, Venus is saying that this is all divinely ordained by the universal blueprint. This is written in the stars. This is not just some random and spontaneous thing that's happening to like ruin the status quo of things or make things confusing or unstable or chaotic. No, this is a divine and universal cosmic blueprint that is being activated at this exact period of time to cause our souls to be able to realign with what they are meant to do and be and express themselves as we come into this process of personal mastery and taking back our reality. This is what this is speaking to today, in my opinion, with the activations of these specific Sabian symbols for this event, for this climax week, for this day. It could have happened any time with the positions, of the planets anywhere in any sign at any degree. And these are the specific degrees that are telling us the story of what this is really all about. And I think that it's inspiring, and I think that we should take a lot of stock in our faith and in our hope, and know that no matter what transpires or how ugly it gets, how heated it gets, this is a divine alignment right now. And whatever happens as a result of Uranus and Mars, we know that it's about the human soul being liberated to seek true, authentic outward manifestation. And we know that it's a result of the cosmic alignments that are going on right now in a greater plan. And it's really just being brought to us at this point in time as part of a grander epic saga that's going on in the cosmos. And it's humanity's time to wake up. And this, it's a birthing process. It's like we are being birthed right now, and it's hard, and there's a lot of tension, there's a lot of heat, and there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of spontaneous, random, crazy stuff happening out of the blue, shocking, surprising, but it's really, really, it's telling us this is a part of the plan, and this is happening to bring us to where we need to be so that we can live fully and truly and build a real reality that's more in alignment with what's going on in the rest of the cosmos at this point in time. So very optimistic regardless of what transpires because of the activations and the story that the Sabians are telling us. Now let's talk about Saturday. This is the exact day of the activation, and there's other things going on too. One other thing before I get into the exact energetics for Saturday that I want to say is we also this week, have a grand trine and fire signs going on. And this is between Chiron and Aries. Chiron is at 13 Aries. Mars in Leo. Mars is 13, 14 degrees of Leo. And we also, remember, have the South Node at 11 degrees of Sagittarius. So all the fire signs between 11 and 14 degrees right now are being activated by the South Node, which is the past, what we need to release, what we need to move on from. And Chiron, the wounded healer teacher that rules that process of alchemy, that brings things from a lower vibration through this crazy process into a higher vibration in alignment with their true potential, through like the difficulty of having painful, difficult experiences, and then the process of learning about those and healing from them, and then mastering those experiences, and then being able to teach and guide others along the same path. This is the nature of Chiron, and we have that activated as well. And then we have the Mars in Leo. So another thing, aside from this like really huge activation that's going on, is that we have this grand trine and fire signs, and it is speaking about releasing the past, letting go of our old belief systems, so that we can go through this healing process and come back into our personal power in alignment with our heart and act through our heart. Mars in Leo, okay? South Node in Sagittarius, letting go of old belief systems that are no longer serving and no longer in alignment with reality. Chiron in Aries, going through this process of wounding and learning and healing and alchemizing and transcending and mastering, and coming back into our power and acting through the heart. Mars in Leo, okay? This is something that is going on the side of this T-square that we have. So aside from the T-square bringing tensions to help us break through something, we also have this extremely healing energetic that is helping us to release the past, to heal from it, to master it, and to re-embrace the authenticity of our heart and to act out of that. That is what is going on the side of this activation this weekend. And I feel like that's a very important thing to keep in mind too, because this really is a healing quest that we're on this weekend. Chiron is involved in basically everything that's happening. So we are going through a deep transformation, a deep process of alchemy, and we are healing, growing, and mastering and releasing the past through this process and whatever transpires with it. Now I'm going to talk about Saturday, okay? So the square from Uranus to Mars, exact 10 p.m., 14 degrees of Leo and Taurus. And I already talked about what those Sabians are, and they are really pushing us to release our soul from the bondage that it's been into the ideals of society and get reacquainted with what the true nature of that is and how it wants to express to bring us fulfillment in this life, in this reality, in this existence. So watch it tomorrow night. You're going to probably, it's really best for all of us to try not to really be too crazy, too like out and about, because there's a lot of just really tense and impulsive emotional energy that's going on. But, and we also have the moon tomorrow night. The moon is also an important planet right now, because remember, the sun is in Cancer, so the moon rules Cancer. So the moon is really telling us what is going on generally right now. And the moon will also be, the moon is in Taurus, speaking to Uranus, speaking to Venus, talking about this 7 degrees of Leo where Venus is on Friday. This is part of the cosmic blueprint, and really emphasizing and working with Uranus to shake things up, to bring these shocks and surprises for the purpose of helping to like realign things. That is going on with the moon on Saturday. So on an emotional level, we are aligning with these shocks and surprises and this cosmic orientation of the nature of the events that are going on. So, and whenever the moon, activates Uranus, this is also a time where we have a tendency to see more shocks and surprises happening anyways. So definitely tomorrow night, especially moving into the night and overnight and into Sunday, we are super primed for explosive and shocking events brought to us by Uranus in square, this exact square to Mars. We also have the sun, you guys. The sun is also going to be forming an exact square to Chiron for the exact activation of the square from Mars to Uranus tomorrow. So tomorrow night, and I was looking at the 10 p.m. chart for tomorrow night because that's the time of the activation, but we also are going to be having the sun squaring off with Chiron moving into Sunday as well. So let's talk about the Sabian symbols for Saturday. The sun will move to 13 degrees of Cancer on Saturday at the time of this activation. And this Sabian symbol is one hand slightly flexed with a very prominent thumb. So this sort of makes me feel like this, like, hold on, like, hold on, okay? I feel like we should kind of hold back on Saturday because of this. And this is sort of goes along with what I've been saying all week. We really, really want to try not to be too impulsive, even if we're feeling an urge to sort of make these drastic changes and stuff. We kind of should hold up a minute. Think about it. Make sure that it's not coming from your ego. Make sure that it's not just coming from like impulsive emotions. Make sure that this is something that you really want to act on before you do it, okay? And the sun is telling us, hold on, slow down, think about it, stop, okay? And I find that very interesting. We also have Venus on Saturday at the time of this activation moving to 9 degrees of Leo. This Sabian symbol, early morning dew, salutes the sunlight. And what is the sunlight telling us to do today? Hold on, okay? So I feel like the message is very clear for Saturday. I feel like for Saturday, we all need to hold on, slow down, think about it, wait, give it a minute, pause, stop, halt, just stand still for a second, and not be so quick to act. The sun is literally telling us, a slightly flexed hand with a prominent thumb, slow down, okay? And this makes sense because these are the degrees that are in effect at 10 p.m. tomorrow night when this activation becomes exact. And again, this is all about 14 degrees of Leo, a human soul seeking opportunity for outward manifestation. And at the beach, the children play while the shellfish grow up at the shore. So the things that are happening to liberate our soul into its true expression, and it wants us to be liberated and carefree and able to find our inner child, find that original expression and be able to act on it and to develop it and cultivate it and carry it out. But we want to hold on in terms of anything that is making us feel impulsive to act, that is not well planned out or that is coming from the ego. Both the sun and Venus at 9 degrees talking about saluting the sunlight. It's saying, hold on, wait, don't take action unless you're really like literally given no other choice. So I feel like that is good advice for Saturday, and that is also what I've been saying all week. And if you want more information about how this energetic could affect you specifically, I made a video for all of the 12 signs where I talked about how most likely these energetics will be playing out based on the house positioning where the planets are falling for each of the signs, and I will put them in the description. So check out your sign, specifically your ascendant sign, if you want to know how these energetics are likely to be affecting you personally. But for all of us, like I said, if it's something impulsive, if it's something rash, if it's like a heated decision and we're just in the moment like, I have to do this. No, stop, think, hold on, make sure, evaluate, strategize, okay? Like put some Saturn into it. Like at least make a plan or a strategy before you just go ahead and take that action. Everything's talking about it on Saturday when this activation is exact, and that is the path that we need to take. Okay, let's move on and talk about Sunday. And yes, Sunday. So Sunday, this is, of all the 3 days, happy birthday America on Sunday. This to me is the day where we need to watch out the most. And this is because we are going to be, even though Mars is going to be moving to 15 degrees on Sunday out of exact aspect with Uranus, we will have the moon coming into exact conjunction with Uranus at 12 p.m. And this is going to be exacerbating, highlighting, and activating the whole square that we just had with all of the same intensity. And with the moon there, this is definitely a trigger that could cause something big to happen. And not only that, we are going to be having at the same exact time, 12 p.m. This is 12 p.m. on July 4th when both of these activations are going to be exact. We're going to have the sun exactly conjuncting Uranus, and we are going to have, or the moon exactly conjuncting Uranus, and we are going to have the sun in exact square to Chiron. Chiron has been involved in everything this weekend, and Chiron rules wounding, healing, teaching, mastery, alchemy, transcendence, but it also rules trauma. And I've been talking about how because of the Chiron themes involved in this situation, like we are on a hero's journey. And unfortunately, a lot of times the beginning of the hero's journey always starts out with some type of very painful wounding or trauma. And with the sun in exact square to Chiron today, while the moon is an exact conjunction to Uranus following this square, and Mars will be at 15 degrees of Leo, a pageant moving along a street packed with people. If we were going to see any type of like big unfortunate event occur that impacts a bunch of people, I would think that it would happen around noon on Sunday on the 4th, just because of the activations that are being highlighted. That the degree of the sun for the square to Chiron, it will still be at 13 degrees of Aries, one hand slightly flexed with a prominent thumb. So, kind of hold on. And the degree where Chiron is right now, 13 degrees of Aries, is a bomb that failed to go off, now safely hidden from discovery. So there could be some type of crisis, like averted or diverted somehow tomorrow, or there could be some type of traumatic event that occurs that impacts like a lot of people because it's the sun and it's in square to Chiron at the exact time that the moon is conjuncting Uranus right after this square, and Mars is talking about a pageant moving along a street packed with people. And it is the 4th of July, and we do know, there hasn't exactly been a whole bunch of peace and civility going on right now in terms of like unity in our country. And so if we were going to see any type of like event occur, I would expect it to occur around noon on Sunday in kind of a more public way. But like I said, even if this does happen, you guys, it is ultimately for the best. I mean, it's not that it's for the best, but it's part of a cosmic blueprint that is playing out to break us through, to bring us to another level somehow, and to help us all come back into be reacquainted with the truth and the value and the mastery that we all have within us, that we are chiseling away at right now, and we're nurturing and we're growing and we are trying to bring out and carry forward. So Sunday, to me, of the 3 days, it would be like the more of the red zone day, even though it's not the day that the activation is exact. And that's why. And we also, Saturday and Sunday, have Mercury moving to 22 degrees of Gemini, coming back into square with Neptune now retrograde at 24 degrees of Pisces. So again, there could be a lot of very confusing information, delusions, hypnosis, mind control, programming, like thought programming, and just like diluting information and stuff like that about what may transpire as a result of these activations this weekend. And we are going to want to be really careful about what side of the story we are agreeing with or believing or taking for fact. And again, tuning into our intuition and into our gut is our best way to navigate this informational climate right now. And also, though, simultaneously, now that Mercury is direct, even though there is lots of illusion and disillusion and disinformation floating around, there is still going to be massive amounts of clarity, revelation, and awakening coming with this as well. So it's not just one-sided. It's more like there's so much information and clarity coming through that there's an even bigger push to sort of like spread disinformation in with it to discredit all of it and to sort of like dilute the overall story. But it's not going to maintain, especially now as Mercury is moving back into exact square with Neptune and will soon pass the other side and come out of his shadow. That is when we are really going to start receiving clarity, understanding what happened. And there's really not much more that they can do at this point because the lid is kind of off. Pandora's box has kind of been opened and you can't put the lid back on it now. Everything's just coming out. So it's really kind of futile attempts at manipulation and diluting things at this point in time. But overall you guys, that's what I have for my report today. I feel like today, Friday, we are getting some very good indications from the Sabian symbols that this is a cosmic plan, and what happens is really for the purpose of bringing us back in touch with our own internal value and liberating our souls to be able to express themselves freely and in a way that they were truly meant to do, meanwhile reacquainting us with our true internal value and the mastery that we hold within us and helping us to nurture and to grow that, which is really the same exact thing that Uranus and Taurus is asking us to do. In the whole context of this T-square is pushing us in that direction, and the Sabian symbols are telling us about it. It's all about bringing us back in touch with our true internal value and helping us to cultivate and grow that so that we can base our lives around that and no longer base our lives around forming and conforming to the molds that other people have set for us that couldn't be further from who we were meant to be. And that's why so many people feel so unfulfilled and have all of these issues, because they're not living the life that they were authentically meant to live. And that is all changing right now. And that is why we are going through this process, because it's taking a lot to push us out of our comfort zone and to break us out of the illusion. And this is just a part of it. And the constellations of stars shining brilliantly in the sky are telling us that it's now, and this is the time that it's happening. And we also have this grand fire trine going on that is healing and releasing us from the past through acting from the heart, and bringing us back in touch with the true nature of our heart and our soul. So you guys, that's what I have for this weekend. Remember, on Saturday for this activation, if you're feeling very impulsive to do something, stop. The slightly flexed hand with a very prominent thumb. Think it through, make a plan, make a strategy at least before you act on it. Or better yet, if it's not something you absolutely have to do, wait until these activations have passed and you've had more of a chance to ponder in it and make sure that it's something that you really want to go forward with. And then Sunday, this is the day, around noon, staying out of crowds, staying out of public places, kind of just staying to yourself. This is probably the best way to enjoy these energetics. But happy birthday, America. I love you so much and wishing you a beautiful year. It's probably going to be kind of a crazy year considering the aspects that are happening on your birthday. But, it's part of the plan, and it's taking us somewhere better, more authentic, more unique, and more based in our true authentic value, meaning, and fulfillment. So if you guys liked my video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends if you think they would be interested, leave me comments. I love your comments. And what else? Ring the bell if you want notifications. And you guys, also I have a group on Facebook, Aubrey Stars on Facebook, if you guys want to come over there and check out what's going on over there. And also I will again put the videos in the description box if you want to check out how this will affect you personally. Have a great weekend, guys, and I will see you on Monday.